and call the meeting to order. Welcome everybody here to our meeting today. Go ahead and ask Ms. Huff, if you would please, if you'll call our roll and let's see who we've got with us.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the first quarter 2024 board meeting. Roll call began. Terry Barnard.
I'm here.
Candace Gross. Keith Elliott. Sonia Fillingame has an appointment this morning, so she will not be attending the meeting. David Herring.
Present.
Jimmy Kitchens. Nick Norton. Tyrone Oliver. And Mr. Oliver accepted the invite. Not sure why he hasn't made it on yet. Chairman Queen.
I'm here, obviously.
Yes. Shawanda Reynolds Cobb.
Present.
And Mr. Tanner is speaking at an event this morning, so he may log on later. And Tina Piper.
Present.
All right. So we have, including Ms. Piper, there are 5 members present.
No, I don't count as a member. I'm the
We
board's
don't count,
attorney.
so we only have 4 members present,
That's correct.
Chairman.
I'm sorry there, Daphne. I think either I cut out or you cut out.
Okay, we only have 4 members present at this time.
So you don't have a quorum.
That is not enough for a quorum.
There's not enough for a quorum. No.
So we can have a meeting, just can't have any votes.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you, Tina. I don't believe we've got any voting matters on the agenda as I reviewed it. So I'm not, unless you saw any, Tina, I don't think that'll be problematic for us. Okay.
Yeah, we just can't vote on any of the minutes, the agenda, anything like that, but we can hear from Mr. Nail and DCS folks. They can report out to y'all.
Okay. Well, in that case, I would ask if any board members do join, if you could just let us know. Get announce
I
yourself
will.
when you join.
I will. Thank you.
And so Daphne can get that down, and maybe we will have a quorum and be able to vote on those couple of matters, which won't keep us from proceeding with the reports. We'll go ahead and move on. And James, looks like you're driving.
I'm pulled over. We're headed to Forsyth. I'm on side of the road. But yes, let us pray. God, we thank you, we glorify you, we bless you for this day. All that we do, say you be glorified. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Appreciate that. And once again, welcome everyone. I appreciate everybody's attendance. This is our first meeting of 2024. So we're getting a good start on this year. We'll go ahead and we've got an agenda. You've received it. I won't ask for a vote since this time we don't have a quorum. But I'll go ahead and note that we do have an agenda present. We'll follow that agenda. Also, you received copies of the minutes from the last meeting, December 21st, 2023. So once again, I won't ask for a vote.
Steve, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Commissioner Oliver has indicated he is going to be joining, so you can just vote on those when he joins up.
Just for the record, we might catch him at the end. Would that be appropriate? Okay. We'll
One
go back
thing also, Chairman, if everyone could put their computers or phones on mute. We have a lot of background noise, and it's because when the person is speaking, it's coming through your speaker. So if you're not speaking, please put your phone on mute. or your computers on mute. Thank you.
Thank you, Daphne. I appreciate that. Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to the staff reports, and Commissioner Snell, I'll see you there and welcome you this morning and ask for your report and your staff's report.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. I appreciate it. And I will recognize that always March is a busy month. You have the legislative session in, so I know there are a lot of competing priorities, but I do appreciate those that are able to join and did so. You'll see the agenda is a little bit different. We are going through some reorganization and restructuring within DCS. As a senior management team, we looked and reviewed our service delivery model as well as our entire organizational structure. And actually, it has been 9 years since we have done any change within our organization. Of course, a lot has changed in 9 years. So you'll see one of the report outs changing a little bit. Our two deputy commissioners, Bert Llewellyn, as well as Michelle Stanley, will be giving report outs from the operational and administration side. Of course, Tim Lewis with the misdemeanor oversight will continue. And we will, in all likelihood, and I want to have time to talk with Ms. Ross about this, but remove updates from the Georgia Commission on Family Violence. And the reason is she already reports to a board, and they are administratively attached to us. And so they don't have any operational issues with us. But again, I want to talk with Ms. Ross and make sure she is good with that. And then Chairman Queen, make sure that you don't have any issues with it. But want to let you know at our next board meeting, we'll present a whole host of organization changes. One of the biggest goals of us in doing this, it's twofold: to expand our operational capabilities, but also we hear so much through our employee engagement about the lack of promotional opportunities. So we are looking to address that. As you know, if you can create one position at a very high level, you can theoretically get anywhere from 15 to 20 promotional opportunities throughout the agency. So we are looking through that, and I hope by our next board meeting, we'll be able to present all of our new promotions to you and the organizational structure. Legislatively and budget-wise, for an update, there's not really any legislation that is impacting us in a significant manner other than just the typical pieces. Of course, we are excited that the appropriations is intact, and that will equate to much needed pay raises for our staff. We also have some capital outlay for replacement vehicles, which is always good. But all in all, it's a good legislative session, good budget. I always want to thank, of course, the members of the legislature and as well as the governor for their continued support of DCS and what we do. Speaking of legislative session, we had two resolutions, presented by the House of Representatives to our Employee of the Year and Officer of the Year. That shows their support of us and what we do, and those two employees are well deserving of that. We continue to give back to the community. One of the ways we do that is through our support of the Special Olympics. We had several staff that did the polar plunge recently, which is always a good time for a good purpose. I want to commend Sherry Chambers on her continued efforts to coordinate these events and give us the opportunity to give back to worthy causes and to our communities. We have numerous presentations that we are doing throughout the nation and actually throughout the world. We do presentations for GPACs, but also APPA. Michelle Stanley will be alluding to one of those, but also the World Congress on Probation. We've been asked to present at that. So I think that speaks to the work that is being done in DCS and the leadership when others are coming to us looking for best ways and better ways. But I also think it shows that by us being engaged in that, we continue to be a learning organization. I've shared with you numerous times. We will never claim to be perfect, but we will always strive to be perfect. But we focus greatly on not just best practices, but next practices. And those invites, I think, really display that. Had a conversation with Commissioner Broche last week. She has started over in DFACS a victims unit. And as we were talking, we realized the need to work collaboratively and have access to each other's database. So we are starting to do that. It's interesting because many of the homes we go in, they have an open DFACS case, but we may not know what's going on with that open case. But just as important, DFACS is going into those homes and may not even be aware that we have someone under our supervision. So this is really a good step. We've identified an individual that will serve as a point of contact for them. They have for us. And I think it's long overdue. We had tried this several years ago before Ms. Broche or Commissioner Broche was there, and it just didn't seem to ever get any traction. So I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be a win-win for all involved. Also, DCS is on the forefront of justice-involved veterans. We were approached by the Council on Criminal Justice regarding participating in their advisory council. And embarrassingly say, we don't track that. We don't keep up other than self-report about how many veterans are under our supervision. And there's a lot of complexities involved with what brought them to us under supervision. And the more we can understand that, but it starts with coordinating with the Veterans Affairs and finding out who in fact is in a veteran status under our supervision. So I'm excited about that. This is only about 3 months into the effort, but it is getting national recognition, not of the project, but of the need and the need to have good information around this population. I mentioned to you that we are down here at Forsyth. A couple board meetings ago, we updated you on our recruitment, retention efforts. You'll certainly hear more about that, but we're actually having an intern luncheon today. I think we have 27 interns that will be joining us, and that is really good news. We have made the commitment to have paid internship programs. So I think it serves two purposes. One, someone can come to us, they can get an understanding of what we do. Prior to them even graduating or in their last semester, we can onboard them and hire them. Whereas literally when they graduate, they come working straight for us. But I think it also serves another purpose. It serves perhaps to indicate that that individual may not want to be in this line of work. And that's okay. No harm, no foul, because we have not put a year's worth of time and resources into them for them to get to that point and realize it. So we are really excited about this. We're going to be tracking the numbers as we always do of our efforts with recruitment, retention, but it is a good day for those interns to interact with us and us to interact with them and see what we can do better to reach those students. And finally, I'll just tell you, I just couldn't be more proud of the men and women with DCS. I mean, from the person that was just hired yesterday to the individual that's been with us for nearly 40 years and the leadership that is provided. I'm surrounded by just wonderful professionals. They remind me how much every day I don't know, and that's always a good thing, but I never want to miss an opportunity to brag on them and what they're doing to make a difference in our communities. And last, I just want to wish the board members, I want to wish you and your family a wonderful Easter. And that will conclude my report, subject to any questions.
Thank you, Commissioners. Does anyone have any questions for Commissioner Young? No. And appreciate those comments, Mike. I'll definitely echo the quality of folks with DCS. I noticed that at the GPAX conference recently at Lake Lanier. Had a chance to talk to a number of officers. Was in court in Floyd County the other day and saw some of them in action. And it's really great to see how professional they are, how prepared they are, and how much they're out there making a difference in the community. So I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to the committee reports, starting with the operations update and Deputy Commissioner Flewellen.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. It's good to be here today and share a few updates with you from operations. Obviously, this doesn't encompass everything that's going on, but just trying to keep it high level. First thing we have is two big projects that we've got coming up that's really going to help our operations. The first is the Deloitte time study. It's about 6 years ago, we partnered with Deloitte to take a deep dive into our how officers spend their time. And the whole goal was to identify time drains, so we could either leverage non-sworn staff to perform those tasks or a technology solution to perform those tasks. And we've made a lot of changes based on that study. So the goal of this one is to go in and do a similar study again with officers, counselors, and community coordinators to look for even more opportunities for efficiency gains, but also to examine the changes we made to determine their impact. So we're really looking forward to that one, and that project kicks off today, and it's expected to last about 6 months. The other one is we're partnering with UGA to develop and validate an evidence-based instrument to assess the effectiveness and fidelity of our person-centered supervision model. And Dr. Orion Mowbray will be leading that project. He is a professor of social work at UGA. We worked with Dr. Mowbray and UGA on another project where they developed an assessment tool for our DRCs, and we were very pleased with those results. So we're looking forward to that project. And that's going to be a 2-year project that's going to start on July 1st. Another thing I want to share with you is an update on our staffing. I know Mr. Chairman and board members, you're very aware of the challenges that every public safety agency is facing right now when it comes to staffing. Getting high quality folks on board and keeping them there. Everybody's struggling with that. And about 12 months ago, we made a very concerted effort to address this issue. Mainly focusing in 3 areas. That's reducing attrition. You know, when someone leaves, it doesn't really matter why they leave, because there's a void created. A void of work that's got to be done. So we're trying to do everything we can to keep folks from leaving. Another is increasing supply. We've got to make sure we've got high quality, qualified individuals coming in the door frequently. And then the last one is demand. And that's probably one of the most overlooked aspects of the staffing strategy, is keeping demand as low as it can possibly be. Because if we just keep piling tasks on officers, we're going to need more officers to do the work. So we're looking at every opportunity we can to leverage non-sworn staff and utilize technology. And I think key too is realizing how those 3 things work together. It doesn't do us any good to have a good supply of applicants coming in if they're all just going out the back door after 12 months. It also doesn't do us any good to have good folks coming in and good folks staying if we just keep piling more tasks on top that they have to do. We're going to need more people. So it all works together. And I'm excited to share some numbers with you today. And I'm going to share these numbers, and keep in mind when I'm sharing these numbers, I'm not trying to take credit for these numbers within operations. I mean, this has been a true agency-wide effort between operations, administration, finance, IT, and executive operations. So I do want to share these numbers with you. When we look at time to hire, that's an important one for us. So the time a job is posted until we get somebody on board to do that job. We know that the longer that process is, the more likely somebody's going to drop out of it. They're going to go somewhere else because they need a job. So we've been making a very concerted effort to get that number down. And since January of this year, that number is down 21%. And we're very happy about that. We've taken a good look at our processes and trying to eliminate unnecessary steps, and it's making a difference. Sworn turnover for the year, for the last 12-month period, is down 45%. Non-sworn turnover is down 54% from the last 12 months. And that's critical for us because we're relying on non-sworn staff now more than we ever have to perform a lot of this stuff that officers used to do. So that's critical for us. Hiring of sworn staff in the last 12 months is up 107%. So that's huge for us. And because of all those numbers right there, we've not only returned to pre-pandemic levels staffing wise, we're actually exceeding that now. And because of that, because our staffing's where it needs to be, caseloads are now down 24% over the last 12 months. So we're very excited about that. And there's still more work to do. This new study with Deloitte will surely reveal some more opportunities for us. So we're looking forward to seeing where that goes. And the last thing I had, I know Michael mentioned our Officer Burke being recognized by the General Assembly. We also had one other officer that was recognized recently in the Southern Circuit, CSO Daryl Stewart. He was named the Rotary Club for that circuit's Officer of the Year. So we're very proud for him and very happy for him. So that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman, barring any questions.
Burke, appreciate that report. Outstanding report. Still a lot of work being done, making great progress. Anybody have any questions? Okay. All right. We'll move on to the administration update and Deputy Commissioner Stanley. Good morning.
Good morning, Board Chair and members of the board. I have just a few highlights from the great work in administration, which includes human resources, strategic planning and analysis, research and data services in the Office of Professional Standards. Human Resource Director Barbara Neville launched our annual employee engagement survey on March 1st. Working in collaboration with External Affairs, we shared a video message from key individuals across the agency sharing the importance of why everyone should take the opportunity to complete the survey. Our employee engagement survey is a valuable tool for us to understand our employee satisfaction and motivational levels. Conducting the survey is important for our employees' feedback that allows us to drive meaningful change. With our survey, it allows us to gauge our satisfaction and retention, productivity and performance, our employee well-being, as well as to identify issues and areas for improvement, while also fostering a culture of feedback to benchmark and track progress. It allows us to drive, of course, meaningful organizational change. Annually, we use this feedback from our surveys to continue to improve our ongoing efforts and to enhance our employee engagement and satisfaction. In addition to that survey, HR also has launched our attention to our mandated sexual harassment training. This training is essential, of course, for fostering a safe, respectful, and inclusive workplace for all our employees, and we're tasked as an agency with getting this training completed by early June. In an effort to be more effective and efficient in our human resource efforts by leveraging technology, we collaborated with IT, the recruitment unit, and field operations to develop and actively have been using Applicant Stack in our recruitment and hiring process. You heard some of those updates from Deputy Commissioner Flewellen before me, but I just want to share a little bit about what Applicant Stack is and what it's able to do. It's a comprehensive applicant tracking and onboarding system that offers customizable job postings while widely distributing through maximum visibility. It automates candidate screening capabilities, is efficient communication tool to engage with candidates, as well as a paperless onboarding for fostering a faster employee interaction, which leads to that faster hiring cycle, reducing that time to fill, and improving our quality of hires. This has been huge, as Deputy Commissioner Flewellen shared, for us to make many strides in filling our vacant positions and improving our process. As you know, a strategic plan is essential for guiding our growth and success. It provides a roadmap for the future and ensuring that everyone is working toward a common purpose. Strategic Planning and Analysis Director, Dr. Nick Powell, does an amazing job in ensuring cross-collaboration and representation from every division. You've heard us talk about personal-centered supervision as a way we do business, but in the coming plan year, you will also hear a heavy presence of personal-centered supervision in our strategic plan. We look forward to the way ahead. Dr. Powell, along with Angela Gottner and Mara Roberts with the Council of State Governments and Tanya Van Dice with the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, were featured in a published article titled Specialized Mental Health Supervision. This article focused on the studies that investigated the disproportionate representation and negative experience of justice-involved persons with mental illness. We were pleased to see this article being published. We can certainly make the entire article available to each of you in a PDF format. Please just let us know and we'll share it so you can read it at your leisure. During the American Probation and Parole Association Winter Training Institute held last month in Seattle, Washington, Dr. Powell led an engaging workshop and panel discussion on making strategic planning a dynamic, engaged, evidence-informed, and a year-round process that enacts change and program improvement. He was joined on this panel by our Chief Information Officer, Phil Sellers, Director of Research and Data, Dr. Maria Stevens, and our partner, Dr. Tanya Van Dice with the University of Chapel Hill, who provided valuable insight as panelists and the work that is forthcoming in operations. Director Maria Stevens with Research and Data Services provided data for our DCS Annual Population Interactive Dashboard, which has been updated on our website. This dashboard serves as a vital tool that reflects on the latest community supervision population trends and statistics as of January 1st. By making this data readily accessible, we aim to empower stakeholders with valuable insight into Georgia community supervision composition. As always, the data and metrics we're able to produce are direct reflections of the difference each of our community supervision officers make in our communities across Georgia. If you haven't had an opportunity, please take a moment to explore our 2024 data. If you need help with accessing that dashboard, please feel free to reach out and we'll ensure that you have that access. Additionally, that team is instrumental in creating performance dashboards for several divisions to support them in meeting their objectives and outcomes. They are a small but mighty team that fields countless internal and external data requests daily, and they do an exceptional job. The Office of Professional Standards team has two primary duties. They're responsible for doing our digital voice stress analysis examinations for new officer applicants, and they do investigations of alleged employee misconduct. The OPS team spends anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5 hours face-to-face with each officer applicant with reviewing their background information, obtaining information to assist us with making hire decision. And thus far, this current fiscal year, they've sat with 489 officers. That's nearly 1,000 hours. In an effort to keep this team sharp and up on the latest trends, they are always looking for continuous learning opportunity. The entire team was able to complete a deception training earlier this month to sharpen their skill set when conducting interviews and investigations. Director Marianne Dillard does an amazing job leading this team and the work that goes on often behind the scenes. I'm extremely proud of not only the staff mentioned today, but each staff that makes up each division mentioned and how they support the work that happens in Team DCS each day. Board Chair, that's the end of my report. Are there any questions for me?
Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that report. That's a lot of information. Yeah. Appreciate you staying on top of it.
You're
Anybody have any questions, Michelle? Okay. All right, we'll move on to Director Tim Lewis and the Misdemeanor Probation Oversight Unit report.
Good morning again, Mr. Chairman. Fortunately, you're going to see me twice today. I got a pinch hit for Tim today. You know this very well, Mr. Chairman. Tim is very thorough, and fortunately for me, he takes very good notes. So this is what Tim has for you today. Currently, there are 64 entities registered, 49 government providers, and 15 private providers. There are 816 individuals registered. Our team of compliance monitors have been hard at work this quarter for sure, doing the compliance reviews. During the first quarter of this year, they've already done 600 of them, and they continue to do a great job for us. Daphne Evans Huff has completed the entity registration renewal process and generated certificates to all 64 providers. Reginald Healy has been doing a great job for us on training. As of today, there's been 29 sessions with a total attendance of 556. So that's working good for us. I know we're doing a lot of virtual training, but we still see some value in in-person events. So we've got several of those scheduled. We've got one in May in Winder, one in June in Noonan, And we're working for some additional dates later in the year for Statesboro and McDonough. And in addition to that, we also have a directors meeting and training aimed solely at directors of agencies. That's going to be here at the Public Safety Training Center on April 22nd. Addition to that, Kim Wood has completed the review of 2023 of annual in-service requirements and found that everyone was in full compliance. And that is the report from misdemeanor probation, barring any questions.
Does anyone have any questions for Bert on that? Come on, somebody give him a question.
I hope it's on the paper.
Appreciate it, Bert. Thanks for filling in for
Thank you,
Tim. Okay, we'll move on to Ms. April Ross in the Georgia Commission on Family Violence report. Good morning, April. Well, maybe I didn't see April.
I don't think she is on the line, and I have not heard from her.
Looks like Commissioner Nell's going to pinch hit for April.
No, sir, that's incorrect. She is not here, and quite honestly, I don't know if it's a legislative matter or not. But she was not in our briefing this morning, so I can only make the assumption that she is not here to present, sir.
Okay, that's fine. I appreciate that, Michael.
Yes, sir.
We'll just make a note of that in our minutes. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on. Any old business items? I don't believe there's any, if anyone else is aware of any, nor any new business items. No. Okay. And I do believe that I saw Commissioner Oliver come on. So that's an additional board member. Would that give us a quorum, Daphne?
Yes, sir.
Just barely. We're just under the wire. So given that, we'll go back up to item number 4, or excuse me, item number 5, our agenda. And I'll ask if someone can provide me a approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the agenda.
Thank you, Commissioner. A second, please.
I'll second that.
I believe okay, I believe that's Mr. Bernard, second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay. All right, for the record, the agenda was approved. We have that noted. And also the review and approval of the December 21st, 2023 minutes from our last meeting. Everyone received those, and I would ask for a motion to approve those.
Move to approve.
Thank you, David. I appreciate that. And a second.
I'll second that as well.
Terry, second. And all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And those are adopted as well as part of our meeting today and approved. So I believe that concludes all the items on our agenda. I myself would like to wish everybody a happy Easter. I'm hoping we're going to have some beautiful weather for that. And my kids can run around and hunt eggs and other things that they do. So thanks everyone for attending. I look forward to seeing you all soon, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.